What's going on, guys? John Alder here from Codemy.com, and in this video, we're going to start to add our profile pics to our app for Flask and Python. All right, guys, like I said, in this video, we're going to add profile pics. But before we get started, if you like this video and want to see more like it, be sure to smash the like button below, subscribe to the channel, give me a thumbs up for the YouTube algorithm, and check out Codemy.com, where I have dozens of courses with hundreds of videos that teach you to code. Use coupon code YouTube1 to get $30 off memberships, all my courses, videos, and books. One-time fee is just $49, which is insanely cheap. And yes, I know I said I was going to get rid of those coupon codes in the new year. Haven't gotten around to it yet. Probably over the weekend that will happen. The price of Codemy.com membership will go up to $298. Those $49 coupon codes won't work anymore, and you're just going to be stuck. So definitely take advantage of those for the next day or two. Sometime over the weekend, I think I'll probably get to it, and that'll be that. So take advantage of that. So, okay, a few videos ago, we added this default profile pic. In this video, we're going to start to add the mechanism to upload and create an actual profile pic. So this is a little bit tricky because your instinct is going to be to save these profile pictures in your database, and you can do that. That's perfectly fine. We're not going to do that though, because most modern databases that are hosted online won't allow you to save pictures and images to the database. I think it stems from like a porn thing back in the day. People were uploading tons and tons of porn pictures, and databases were getting overwhelmed, and they were, and I think they sort of all got together and said like, no more pictures in databases. And that's just sort of how it is. These days, what you do is usually upload your pictures to a CDN like Amazon, AWS, or one of the other CDNs, content delivery networks, and then you save the file name in your database. So you save a little bit of text, a file name in your database. It will reference a file in a CDN somewhere else, like up in the cloud somewhere. Now, we're not going to do that just yet, but we're going to start to set things up that way. And what we're going to do is instead upload these pictures into our static images directory that we've already got. Now, obviously, that's not a great solution if you have hundreds or thousands or millions of users. But for this little app, it'll be just fine. And eventually we'll transition into using a CDN like you would. So we're going to set up all that stuff in this video, or at least start to see how far we get. It's Friday. It's been a long week. We're still moving into the new office space, so things are still a little so we'll see how this goes. So let's head over to our code. I'm using the Sublime Text Editor and the Git Bash terminal as always. And as always, you can find a link to the code in the pinned comment section below, as well as a link to the playlist with all the other Flask videos in this series. So check that out if you haven't so far. So, all right, what do we got here? We've got our dashboard file. And if we head back over here real quick and just take a look, here's our user profile, right? It has a name, username, email, favorite color, and an about section. So the first thing we're going to do is add a little section where we can upload a file, right? Pretty easy. So let's head over to our webforms.py file and come down here and look at our user form. And right here it is. And we can just add another field here. And I'm going to call this profile_pic. And this is going to be a file field. And we want the name of it to be profile pic or picture or whatever. So this file field is new. This allows us to upload different files, specifically images. So we need to actually import that up here at the top. So let's go from Flask_WTF, because this is what the forms thing, .file. We want to import file field. Okay, so that should do the trick there. And in fact, if we come back over here and hit reload, no, it's still not going to show up. We need to modify this page itself. So we can do that real quick. Let's head back over to our dashboard page. So that's right here in our templates. And sort of come down here to the bottom of this form. And here's our text area box we worked on in the last video. So I'm just going to come up above here and grab one of these guys and maybe a line break too. And let's put a line break in here. I guess we don't need that extra one after all. And this is going to be form.profile_pic. Same thing down here, form.profile_pic. And also here, a name to update.profile_pic. So let's go ahead and save this. This might be enough, or we might get an error here. Let's see. Oh, there it is. And you can see we get this little thing here where it allows us to select a file. Okay, that's cool. Now, if we actually submit this though, it's not actually saving this to the database yet. We haven't actually done any mechanisms to save it to the database. So we need to do that. So let's head back over to our code and come to our hello.py file. There it is. And at the very bottom of this is where our user model is located. And here we've got our ID, username, name, email, all the things. So down here, we can just add another one, or maybe we want to put it up here, wherever, doesn't really matter. And we're just going to call this profile underscore pic. And that's going to be a db.column. And this is going to be a db.string. And people don't have to have a profile pic. So it could be nullable. It doesn't have to have anything in there, right? So we'll put nullable equals true. Now you might be thinking, hey, why are you using a string here? Well, it's like I said, we're not going to actually save the image itself in this field. We're just going to save the name of it. And that's a string. So we'll just use string. Now I didn't put how many characters, and you'll see why in a little bit because it's going to be quite long, probably. So that's good for now. So let's go ahead and save this. Head back over here to our terminal and Control-C to break out of here. And we've made a change to the database. We need to migrate and push that migration into the database. So as always, when we do this, we want to call Flask db, and the first command is migrate -m, and let's say added profile pic. I want to give it a little commit message, right? All right, that looks good. And then also we want to go Flask db and then upgrade. It's always a two-step process. We create a migration and then we push the migration. So the first command created the migration. This will actually push it into the database, we hope. All right, no errors. That looks good. So, okay, let's go ahead and Flask run our server. And let's head back over to our code. Now we need to actually account for this in the dashboard. So let's search for dashboard. There it is. Here's our dashboard section. And here's the stuff that we're getting from the form. So let's just copy one of these and create another one. And it's going to be name to update dot profile pic. So profile underscore pic. Now this is not going to be a request.form. This is going to be a request.files, right? Because we're uploading a file. So this needs to change to profile underscore pic. And while we're thinking about it, since we're doing a file here, we need to make a change to the form itself. So if we go back over to our dashboard and scroll up here, where we sort of define the form, we're posting it here. We also have to do an ENC type, encoding type, right? And set that equal to multipart /form-data. And this just allows us to upload images, right? It's saying, hey, what kind of data? Multipart data, right? Images and stuff. So, okay, that looks good. Save this. Head back over to our hello.py file. And we'll do that. That looks good. So now let's add a little section to our dashboard at the top where, we can see if this was saved to the database or not. So if we come up here, here's all the things we have. I'm just going to copy this guy. And underneath here, we could say profile pic. Now we're going to get rid of this later, but I just want to put this in here right now just so we can make sure this is working, right? So this is going to be profile underscore pic. Okay, let's go ahead and save this. Head back over here. Maybe log out, log back in. I don't know, just for good measure. Let's go Codemy. Password 123. All right, login successful. And here we see profile pic none because we haven't uploaded one yet. You could also do a little bit of logic there and say, hey, if there is a profile pic, put it there, but we don't really care. That's fine for now. And if we come down here, there it is, that little section. We can browse. I've got a profile picture right here. Click submit. Uh-oh, missed something here. You know what we did? We tried to save the entire image into the database where we're not trying to save the image. We just want to save the name. So we need to tweak that a little bit. Skipped ahead here. So let's go back over here. And right here, this is the actual image itself. We don't want the image, right? Request.files profile pic, that's the image. We want the image name. So we can strip that out because this sends all kinds of information. It sends the image, it sends the MIME type, it sends the file name itself, all these things. So we can strip this out. And since we're going to be saving the name, we want to make sure this is secure, right? Because people could name their files certain ways that could, inject a SQL injection, whatever, into our database and mess things up. So what we're going to do is come up here to the very top and we're going to install a couple of things. First, we're going to go from Werkzeug. And remember, we've played with Werkzeug before. So from werkzeug.utils, utils, we want to import secure underscore file name. And while we're here, let's import UUID as UUID. This will allow us to create unique user ID numbers, and I'll show you why we're going to need that in just a second. And while we're also here, let's also import OS, because eventually we're going to want to save this, so we're going to need OS in order to save it. So this is the thing we want right now, though. So let's head back down to our dashboard section, and let's grab image name. And I'm going to create a new variable for this, just so we can keep track of it. I'm going to call it pic file name. And we're going to set that equal to that secure file name Werkzeug thing. And then we just want to pass in this thing, the name to update.profilepic dot file name. So in case you missed it, dot file name will return the file name that we uploaded with our profile pic, right? And then we'll sort of run it through this secure file name thing to make sure it's safe, and then assign it to this variable. Now, while we're at it, let's play with that unique user ID. Why? Well, because we're going to upload these images, for now at least, into our images directory right here in our static folder, right? Well, what if two people upload the same file name, right? They might have different images, but they might be named the same. It's pretty common to upload files that are called profile or my profile or profilepic.png or whatever. So it's very possible that more than one user could upload a file with the same name. So we can't have that. So what we're going to do is generate sort of a randomized number, slap it on the file name, so each file name is unique. And we're going to use UUID to do that. It comes with Python. There's nothing to install. We can just import it. So let's create another variable, and let's say set UUID. And I'm going to call this pic name instead of pic file name. I don't know. And this is going to be a string of UUID dot UUID1. And UUID1, UUID comes with many different things. UUID1, UUID2, UUID4, 5, etc. UUID1, I think, takes the date and the time and sort of uses that to randomize the thing. I don't remember. But this will give us a random number. So we want to take that and then add also probably an underscore, and then slap that onto our pic file name, this guy, right? Okay, so now we've got a unique name. Let's change this to that, right? Because we don't want to actually upload the image as we just saw. We just want the name. So I'm going to come right down here, and I'm going to go name to update.profilepic equals pic underscore name. And then down here, when we commit this guy, boom, it will save that as this into the database. Make sense? And it was a little bit convoluted, but hopefully you followed me there. So let's go ahead and save this. It is Friday though, and you know how I get on Friday. So let's come back here. Let's reload this page. Come down here, grab a file, my profile. And remember, the name of this is my_profile.png. But if we submit this, oh, we still get an error. What did we do wrong? Let's see. Come back here to dashboard. I misspelled multi-part. There we go. So, okay, that should work now. Joy, it's Friday. So, all right, let's reload this page. Try this again. My profile, boom, up. User updated successfully. And look, here's our profile pic name. See this gigantic sort of nonsensical thing, underscore my underscore profile.png. And this is OE8 if we do this again, right? Upload it again, submit. Now it's 1B7. So it's randomizing it every time you create a new file. And that's very cool. So, okay, that works. And that's pretty much all there is to that section of it. We're now saving this to the database, which is what we want. Now we just need to save the actual image. And we might come into trouble with this. Sometimes I can get this to work, sometimes I can't. And it's Friday. We always mess up on Friday. So let's see if we can figure this out. It might work, it might not. It doesn't really matter if it doesn't. This is how you do it. And if it doesn't work, we're going to change this in the future anyway. So I'll talk about that later. So let's head back over to our code. Now, remember right here, we're actually pulling in the file itself, the actual image, right? So we've got it right here. We then change it from the actual image to just a string of text right here, right? But before we do all this, we still have the image. So if we want to save it, we could save it right here. So let's save that image, right? So several ways you can do this. I think I'm going to use a config variable. So let's head back up to the top of our app here. And remember, we've done these config variables in the past. Let's go ahead and create another one real quick. So let's designate an upload underscore folder and set that equal to static/images. Remember, that's just right here, static/images. And right now we've got, we got our default picture in there already and some other stuff. So that will be our upload folder. And let's go app.config and set the upload folder. And this is a Flask thing. It knows what that is. And we want to set it equal to this guy right here that we just designated. So, okay, now we can use this to sort of tell our app where to save these files, right? So let's head back down to our dashboard and let's do that. So let's go name to update.profile_pic.save. And here we can call os.path.join. Remember, we imported os a little bit ago up here, right there. Import os. So coming back down here, os.path.join, and then boom, paste in that app.config upload folder. And we also want right here to give it a name. That's going to be pic_name. Now, actually, we need to copy this and delete it because we haven't defined pic name yet in the code. So I'm going to copy this and delete it. And here's the pic name right there. So this pic name is this pic name with the weird UUID thing that we put together, right? So, okay. And then after that, we want to change it to a string to save to database, right? Okay, so this, like I said, it's probably not going to work. We're going to get a permission error, but this is how the Flask documentation says to do it. So like I said, sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't because of your system or file permissions and stuff like that. If you're on Linux, it's easy to change file permissions. On Windows, not so much. Sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't, like I said. So let's just come back here and see. I don't think this is going to work, but let's try it anyway. Let's go ahead and upload another one of these. There we go. Click submit. Yeah, permission error. So it's actually not working. So what I'm going to do for now is, let's see, I'm going to create a variable called saver. And let's see, let's set it equal to this thing here. Boom. Wait, too many equal to signs. There we go. And then this will be saver dot whatever. And let's just take this and bring it down into our try loop and stick it in here just so, at least this thing can get saved, hopefully. I don't know if that's going to work or not. Let's give it a try. You can tell I'm winging it today. All right, so our profile pic is 1B7 right now. Let's add another one, see if this works. Submit. Oh, we got an error, but it was changed. It's not 1B7 anymore. So at least it's updating it in the database, which is something at least. But like I said, this is how the Flask documentation says to do it. For some reason, my system is giving me a permission error. Maybe yours won't. So give it a try and see if it works. If it does, let me know in the comment section below. If it doesn't, let me know as well. In the next couple of videos, we'll set up a CDN somehow, and we're going to push these up to the CDN anyway, because we don't really want to save these in our file system locally, right? Or even when we push it up to web hosting, we don't really want to do it. We're going to want to save these in a CDN of some sort. So we've got all the mechanisms now in place to do that. We're just going to need to tweak the code a little bit to upload it to the CDN instead of trying to upload it to our computer and getting an error, a permission error like we just did. So good enough for now. That'll do. This video is getting a little bit long anyway, and it's Friday. So I think we're going to call that it. So at least we got to see how to save this to the database, save the file name itself, how to create a unique user ID, which we got right here, which is, I think, kind of cool. And we're more than halfway there to finishing up the profile pic thing. So that's where we're going to stop. So that's all for this video. If you liked it, be sure to smash the like button below, subscribe to the channel, give me a thumbs up for the YouTube algorithm, and check out codemy.com where you can use coupon code YouTube1 for the next couple of days to get $30 off membership. So you pay just $49 to access all my courses, over 47 courses, hundreds of videos, and the PDFs of all my best-selling coding books. Join over 150,000 students learning to code just like you. My name is John Elder from codemy.com, and I'll see you in the next video.